For more on the markets, tariffs, inflation, the Fed, and much more, let's bring in Jenny Johnson, President and CEO of Franklin Templeton, which really does have, in this case, $1.5 trillion in assets under management. I sold so much Franklin Fund when I was
love
retail.
that.
It was a great product.
Probably the income fund.
It was it was the income fund.
Yeah, it's great. Everybody loves it. It's like 75 years old.
Remember what the sales charge was?
It was probably, well,
I think it was
6.
I think it was 6 when I was doing it. I think it was 6%. Very popular with the
advisors.
Those were in the old days when advisors were compensated, obviously different. But it was always a great company, great with fixed income and a good return, and then diversified into everything else. So I'm a big admirer. I know a lot of your family and had some interesting experiences with Frank. I actually recused myself by that. What do you think of the current environment? Are you bullish on America? That's Merrill Lynch. Sorry.
Yeah. No, look, here's the thing. Like, we are living in a lot of uncertainty. Okay, so, and it's funny, I was in the Middle East a couple of weeks ago and Europe last week. So getting kind of people's perspective, institutional perspectives from the outside, as well as having the benefit of talking to the ones in the U.S. Most of them say, tons of noise going on. You have to be careful about reacting to it. So kind of look through to the horizon, make sure you're diversified. There's always opportunities in volatility. But let's face it, as things aren't clear with, kind of muddied water on what's going on, you're going to have companies that aren't investing as much right now. They're holding back CapEx, although you did see Oracle earnings yesterday, a huge expenditure there. But, hesitating to spend. And so we're going to get through this. And then I look at 2026, and I think, first of all, I am so bullish on AI. I was playing around on an app. It's called Replit, that you actually just tell it what to do, and it programs in Python in front of you. And then it says, hey, if you're doing this app, do you want to change these variables for your users? And you can actually publish it. I know nothing about coding. So if you think about, I think in 2026, when you start to see the productivity gains for those who do well with AI, I think they're going to pull apart, from in different
It's almost
sectors.
scary, though, because it just started. And since it started to where we are right now, what is it, like a year at most? And it's like night and day. Is it even a year?
I think it's a little more than a year.
I know, but since we really started talking cheating in school and all that stuff.
By the way, I did get your Hal reference, too. So just so
you did. But a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years,
and
the
what
promise
you're
is
talking
great.
about wiping out jobs.
But it even scares me.
Okay, so let's talk about that for a second. So first of all, I agree with you. And one of the things that kind of was a real scary wake-up call is there's that article in the Journal that talked about, there's a nonprofit that tests the versions of OpenAI. And so it said, you have to be able to be shut down. 79% of the time, the code rewrote itself so it couldn't be shut down. Then they explicitly put in there, you have to be shut down, and we're going to open up another version of you. 7% of the time, it still did it. And then it started to copy itself on other servers, right?
Replicate itself.
Replicate itself. And then when they fed it fake emails that the lead engineer was having an affair, it started to blackmail the lead engineer,
which was
So
crazy.
that is really scary. Now, coming back, but it also tells you that if you're running a business, you're not paying attention to this and trying to figure out how you leverage it both for efficiencies as well as opportunity.
That's like the clearest thing I can point to of sentience, right? Like it knows it doesn't want to be shut down.
It doesn't want to be shut down. Yeah. Having said that, on the jobs, let's remember, I always point to a couple of things. 1899, the head of the U.S. Patent Office wrote a memo that said, everything that's ever been invented has been invented, but you should shut me down.
Right.
Let's remember, 1997, cover of Business Week said the death of the broker, right? The internet was going to disintermediate everybody. There was never going to be any of these jobs. 300,000 people at Google in jobs that we never imagined at the time. Right. Think about the number of companies that are created because of, the iPhone. And so I do think if you look in history, we always sort of come out on the other side. It's that transition that's tougher.
The problem is the disruption creates people who get left behind. And that's what we are dealing with right now. The reason we have President Trump putting tariffs, trying to get back some of those swaths of the country that were left behind as these changes came through. The new jobs may be there, but are the people who are living here right now ready and able to be trained for those jobs?
So, as I mentioned,
training that exists.
So I jokingly say that my daughters have picked careers of a hardworking mother, a singer, actress, and a documentary filmmaker. In other words, they're not off the payroll. And my son became a computer science major, and I was like, oh, this is so great. Somebody's going to have a job. guess what? You want to be the creative because you can now, in your hand, have the skills of a programmer by just explaining and saying, please write this. So, it's going to take training, and that's where we have, a lot of training going on in AI, because I think you're going to put it in the hands of your employees.
Yeah.
But there's no question, like, the reason there is this push and kind of a global nationalism that's happening is because people have felt left behind.
Yeah. Jenny, do you think that there's any lasting American brand image? Do you think the dollar's declining? Do you think that the bond market's looking at something? Are we exceptional? Are we going to be back better than ever?
So in my travels in Europe, there's a definite feeling there of this is a wake-up call for us, and we're going to spend on our own defense. We have to be thinking about
develop
more
a few drugs, maybe. Yeah, do some innovation.
But I asked them. I said, so. Are you telling me that with all this innovation that's gone on, there wasn't somebody in Germany who was a great entrepreneur with great ideas? You have to ask yourself, why did they come to the U.S.?
They got a pretty good idea. Right. Yeah.
So
too many regulations, too.
Exactly. Regulation, labor laws, capital markets. So that's still, American exceptionalism from that standpoint still exists. Now, whether people are frustrated by kind of the volatility of the geopolitical environment is something that's different. And then when you say, is the dollar threatened as a reserve currency? Well, where else are you going to go? Right? Yeah. And so it is chipped away, and you see that. And you've seen that for, decades.
It's true. Dollar-based stable coins would embolden it, would help prop up the dollar, I would think. Well, you probably know because, your dad. And you know the weirdest thing? What's the last name of the people that founded Fidelity?
I know.
When did that happen? Are you related?
No.
You guys good at finance?
Here's a funny thing.
The Johnsons know finance.
I actually introduced the first phone call between my dad and Ned Johnson way back when the market time. They'd never talked.
So weird.
Yeah.
Two great.
Now I know Abby.
I was going to say, Abby.
Success, the greatest of what American can produce.